that's the thing. I was trying to think about what I want to say for this intro, but I truly believe our guest today needs no introduction. He is a
Aw.
former RuneScape Machinima maker and is currently killing it and has been killing it for, I would say, the past 10 years in the Minecraft scene. AntVenom on the show. It is an absolute pleasure to have you on. I have not talked to you in probably that 10-year period, so I'm very excited to see what you've been up to and to hear about how you've been doing and how things are going. So, without further ado, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Well, I'm doing all right. It's been a hectic couple of days just because I have some construction going on at
Oh,
my
okay.
house, and also, my computer 3 days ago decided that it didn't want to boot anymore,
Oh, no.
and without getting into details about it, it
Oh
was like a
no.
really complicated hardware level issue. I had to like transfer all my files off my computer,
Wow.
nuke everything, and I'm in the process of starting to move stuff back. So like the only thing I have installed
Yeah.
right now is my microphone software, Discord, and RuneLite.
Oh,
That's it. That's
gosh.
it. That's actually all I've
We're on
got.
a bare
Is
minimum.
isn't that nice though?
Yeah.
You've got
Everything.
like way less of those like bloatware software in your computer, or maybe it's I don't know.
You have to do that every
I'm
5
like
years, it
sometimes
seems
I
like.
want to do
Yeah.
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Oh goodness. But no, otherwise I'm doing all right. And yeah, I'm excited to chat today. There's a lot that we got to cover. Again, yeah, you and I, Kyle, haven't spoken.
Mhm.
Probably since we did, what was it, like Portal 2 or something? We did like this
Oh
one
my
video
god.
You
that I have
did
on my
Portal with
channel.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll do Portal with him,
You're
but you don't
right.
do it with me.
Well, you and I did
No, I'm
Minecraft, right? So,
Yeah,
you
a little
know.
bit. We did
yeah,
one
that
episode.
was our
I
thing.
think it was you
It
trying
was
to kill
just
me.
Ant and I. It was a special thing for us.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, it was funny because I remember back those days you were so like the very last video you did was me. It was right after the Machinima contest, which I was
Mhm.
completely shocked that you were in the finals. I thought your video honestly was way better than
I know
mine.
why.
Why was that?
Because YouTube playlists max out at 200 videos,
Mhm.
and RuneScape was adding the videos to, they're adding them all to their own playlist on their own channel,
Mhm.
and they only chose one winner per playlist.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
And
how the
Oh, no
finalists got.
way.
Okay,
your
yeah.
your video was in my playlist. Yep.
What?
I vid blocked you.
That's what happened. So I do think your video was better than mine. Yeah, mine had comedic value, and I think had they just chosen like a top 10 or whatever, then it would have worked out
Mm.
that way. But there are only 7 finalists, I believe, because
Yeah.
there are only 7 playlists.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense then. Because I think Chisel, a lot of the good videos, I think were the one that I released. So you just got in a
Yeah.
tough bracket. That's just a rough deal, I
Yeah.
guess. But
It's all right. I mean, we all have our own different paths, and I mean, who knows?
yeah,
Maybe if
yeah,
I had won that, I'd be on a different path
it
in life
worked
right
out
now. Who
perfect for
knows?
you, so I wouldn't complain. Because like I said, right after that video, I did a video where it was actually one of my favorite videos because I had Kyle was in it, like pretty much all the finalists were in it, some of the bigger video makers, where we were all singing about the sun will come out tomorrow. It was like kind of a
Oh,
karaoke
yeah.
video. It was,
Yeah.
I just liked it
You
because it
know
had everybody in it, but just the
And
production value turned out well. Go ahead.
it was funny. The reason why we made that video together too. I mean, I know we enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it a lot too. But I remember the reason why I think we made that video because you even said when I submitted my entry, if yours beats mine, I'll make a video with you. I actually specifically remember that conversation. Like it was an actual like agreement made long before, or like a few weeks before that video
Oh,
actually got filmed.
I don't
So,
remember that.
you know,
I
That's
think I remember
funny.
that too. That sounds super familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, "There's no
Funny.
way your video is like far and away like the best video I've seen out of this thing, other than maybe Chisels." But like
yeah,
those
just-
two were like,
yeah.
"Oh my god, there's no way I'm gonna beat these two." And then I ended up winning. I was like embarrassed. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "There's no way I'm winning this." I was like, "This has got to be
Well, I
like
think-
set
I-
up
I
or
think yours-
something." But
Yours was also more tongue-in-cheek style comedy, and I think that works a little bit better with
Could
the
be.
demographic of the people that were judging it.
Mhm.
I think that style of comedy is a bit more prevalent on like British television and
Oh,
whatnot.
maybe that's it.
And
Yeah,
and so I think like you wound up tapping into that. I mean, like the thing
dumb
is,
luck.
there's no necessarily right or wrong answer as to which video was best. I mean, each one that
No.
was there, had a shot at winning, and I don't think yours was a bad pick anyways. So.
Yeah. Oh. But so I got into the video, which was basically me trying to cheer you up because you didn't make it as a finalist, and saying, "Okay, the sun will come out. You'll go on to bigger and better things." And then right after that, ironically enough, you quit RuneScape, jump into Minecraft, and probably
my
within a year or
God.
two got like 1 million subs on Minecraft. I was like, "Oh, gee, well, my work here is done, I guess." Guess,
You know, I
guess that
never
worked out
thought
for
of it
you.
that way. I legitimately never thought of it that way. I never, like, put 2 and 2 together with, like, the message of that video versus where I went on to after the fact. That's really awesome.
That's what I was kind of like,
Well, basically, Jason is responsible for your success. Is
yeah,
what
it's
I'm
it's all
getting
me, yeah. Sure, none of the
Oh
hard
my
work that he
goodness.
did or anything did anything toward that. It was just
No,
that
no,
the
no.
I
It's
video, the
just
pick me
I
up
Jason.
owe it
video
all
that
to
I did for
you.
you. That lost bet I had,
Yeah.
I had to pick him up, and it turned him into a mega star.
Your, you know, you know, your 10% check will be in the mail momentarily, you know, as soon
Okay,
as
well,
soon as the podcast is over.
10%. I'm holding you to that.
Oh, that's a big shareholder. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I made that the deal with you before 10 years ago. I'm holding you to this deal now. 10%, I'll take that.
Oh
So
goodness,
you said you had
no.
a story
So
too about what went on during that video. Because I don't
so
remember making it. I just remember the output and like I was pleased with that. I don't remember anything about filming it though.
no, I was pleased with the output as well. Like, this is, like, digging real deep. This is the sort of thing that I should have forgotten about, like, 9 years
Oh
ago.
no.
But I specifically remember during that recording, I think I was being impatient because when I'm working with people, especially in RuneScape, to me, it's like stand in a place and do an emote. Okay, if your timing is a little off, whatever. But then there are people who like turn around and like,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, log out, this and that. I'm like, if you can't be here for the recording, why are you here? You know, and I don't think I was trying to be rude, but I think I got under someone's skin during that recording and they legitimately logged out and did
Oh
not come
no.
back. And I'm like, oh man, I feel bad. And it actually, if you go back and watch that video, you will notice if you look carefully, someone in the audience perspective is missing about halfway through the clips.
Oh weird.
Oh, wait,
Oh.
holy shit!
I gotta
I
watch that
have to
video
look for
now.
this
I'm
now.
pretty sure.
Oh
I'm
no,
pretty
yeah.
sure of that. I'm almost
Oh
sure. It
no.
might only be 1 or 2 clips, but I'm pretty sure there is a gap in the crowd of people.
Oh yeah, we had the
About
crowd at
halfway
the
through
Yeah,
the
end. Oh
video.
yeah.
wow. Well, I had a
Yeah.
lot of actors that were like short-tempered and they couldn't take a lot of criticism
If
or
this
not.
per- if that person, whoever they were, winds up ever listening to this, I do apologize, and I'm gonna let that one go now.
Wow. The closure that he needed 10 years later.
Well, it turns out that guy was Mr. Beast, and he after no, I'm I'm kidding. It was
I mean, hey, who knows? He made a comment on my video, one of my videos,
yeah, I
like 8
saw
years
that.
ago.
I saw
So
that on Twitter that he said that he had made a comment. It's funny the
yeah,
guys that kind of trickle through your child or your earlier years
it's
and then turn out
Yeah.
later on.
it was really funny. Yeah, I found out that YouTube has a feature where you can search for comments based on subscriber count of the user.
Yeah.
So I searched for
Really?
everyone over 10 million, and there was like 2 people. There's popular MMOs, and there was Mr. Beast.
Oh
So
wow, you gotta show me
No
that. I'm
way. That's
curious now
crazy.
too. Is that like
yeah,
Yeah, I bet Jason has, like, every single person that's, like, super famous right now because they all started, like, watching your
yeah,
shit, like,
yeah.
yep.
seriously.
I'm
Every one of
genuinely
it.
curious now because yeah, like you said,
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that went on to be bigger and better, they started off with Dark 3 and Excel and the Noob Show
Oh, Dark
videos.
3. Oh my goodness. Like now,
Yeah.
you're taking me back to even my introduction with video making. Like,
Yeah, we had him on a
Yeah.
few
geez.
weeks ago. It was really good talking to him too. He's a
He is
teacher now.
such a cool dude,
Yeah.
yeah. He's
Nice.
incredible, man.
So how did you start doing videos? I know you were doing Tony Hawk stuff before you even got into the RuneScape stuff, but
Yeah.
when
Oh, geez. I mean, I won't dig too deeply into the Tony Hawk stuff, but basically, like back in 2004, I got into a glitching community on Tony Hawk, and the way they were capturing pictures of what they were doing, it was like super crisp. The only thing I knew of was pointing a camera at a TV, and they had these like
my son
raw,
does.
raw outputs that were done via capture card. So I'm like, oh, I want a capture card to try
Right.
it. And then a buddy of mine in the Tony Hawk community was making these skate style videos, more like imagine like a traditional skate compilation video of, little clips and whatnot. So I started doing that. And then
Mhm.
was doing that for a while. Da 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 da. I got into RuneScape. Actually, my first RuneScape account is a 9 HP account still that I still have to this day. But I really started playing it in 2007. And of course, naturally, because I liked making videos, I was already, messing around on YouTube because of the Tony Hawk stuff. I started, looking up videos by various creators. I know Skychi was on that list. Lucky Bucket was the one
Lucky
I
Oh,
Bucket.
really,
man.
Yep.
really discovered and envied because I saw the. Oh, I got disconnected. I need to start. Okay, hang on.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta wiggle your
you gotta
mouth a little
wiggle a
bit.
mouse like every 2 seconds or
Yep,
so. Yeah,
yep.
every 5 minutes.
I'm coming back. But anyways, so what was it? I remember seeing these, swath of RuneScape music videos, but the ones that really impressed me were Lucky Buckets because he used Sony Vegas to edit them and he actually knew what he was doing with his edits.
Mhm.
And I immediately wanted to find out what software he used. I wanted to make my own. I loved the idea so much. It allowed me to stretch my video editing skills. And what's funny about that little bit of a side tangent, my very first music video, I submitted as an assignment for a class where I was allowed to submit video
Oh,
edits as
no way.
assignments,
That's
and my
awesome.
entire semester of hours edited was set with that. So I didn't have to do homework for an entire semester because I did 40 hours of editing on that video,
Oh,
and that was an
nice.
entire semester.
No
There you go.
way.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Man, that's a good deal.
That was usually my
Yep.
go-to in school too. Is like, oh, you got to do an assignment. All right, let me just make a video of something because it was just like so easy to do, and it would always blow everybody away because everybody else would do like the cardboard project type stuff,
Yeah.
like with pictures and stuff, and I would just do a video, which I felt was far easier, but always blew everybody
Mhm.
away. It was like an automatic A.
Yep. But then beyond that, so I liked Lucky Bucket's content. I
Mhm.
made like 3 music videos. He featured all 3 of them on his YouTube
Oh,
channel,
there you go.
which at the
Wow.
time was
Wow.
like a big thing. Being featured on someone's YouTube, a well-known person's YouTube channel back then
I
got me
remember
like
that. Yeah.
my first. I think it was like 1,000 subscribers or so.
Oh, wow.
And then to Noob Show shows up on the scene and does this little competition video. I think it was just like I don't remember if there's a theme to it, but I remember there was some kind of like a Chicken Man thing. I parodied one of his
Yeah.
videos
Yeah.
and I wound up winning his little competition, and that brought me from like 500 subs to well over 1,000. And the rest is sort of history. I was just made content of honestly really weird. Like I look back at my RuneScape content and I'm like, man, I was really random and sporadic with my style of videos. And I look back and I'm like, I was not creative with them at all. I just wasn't. Because I look back and I'm like, I was copying like Dom Farah's laser collection. That was like
Oh, yeah.
3 of my videos back then. And then there was the one thing I think I was really creative with was I think it was I started using a program called Particle Illusion, where you could create like special
Yeah.
effects, explosions, and whatnot. So I
Mhm.
started experimenting with that for videos, and yeah, that sort of describes my entire RuneScape career up until a major event that you're involved with, which I don't know if you want to get into that now, but the RuneScape Machinima competition. I'm sure we'll get into at some point.
Oh, we already kind of went over that a little bit, but if you want to get into that more, we're more than welcome to. I'm curious though, before we get into that though, you used to do a lot of acting for Cam, didn't you? For the Noob Show?
Yeah. So when I won that competition of his, not only did he mention my name, which meant a lot of traffic came my way. The one of the prizes for that, or really the prize for it, was acting in a video of his, and it was some like Halloween, off-brand video that he did, which it wasn't like a Noob Show like Bob video,
Yeah.
but it was more of an experimental type video for him. And yeah,
Mhm.
I got to be in that video as well. And me and him we never really lost contact. I actually still have my very first screenshots of that Noob Show when he first messaged me for the very first time, and I actually
Fanboy.
I might be able to pull them out,
Wow.
pull them up. Yeah, I was like
Oh my
training.
God, please.
I was training or something. Yeah, let me see if I can find those real quick. My files are all over the place right now because again,
Oh, yeah.
computer weirdness, but I think I can find it because I'm logged in. I only have access to my files on my laptop right now, but I think I can find them for you. So give me a little bit on that while it takes forever to load.
Oh, no worries.
But I'll have them to you
Worries.
before the end of the show. Oh, actually, there's my
Awesome.
RuneScape folder. Let's see if I can find it
What
on
kind
the
of fun
fly.
things
Oh
are
my
in here?
Trade glitch.
Should
Okay,
have, we
it's
should
gonna
have
be.
like a unboxing show for this. Make it the second part of the
Need like
hour.
yeah.
Found it.
We gotta get Yo, Jamie,
Found
pull this shit up. We gotta get like somebody to dig this shit
I've
up.
actually
You
got
find
quite
it?
a few screens. Yeah, I've got quite a few screenshots in here. I'll paste them to Excel directly. Let's see. Well, I'll drag and drop them. I know we're like going slightly off the rails, but hey, what kind of
That's
a
our
good
show.
podcast
That's pretty much our show.
doesn't go off the rails just a little bit. All right, so I like how I was able to pull these up within like a minute. I mean, this is like it looks like the current RuneScape layout, but this is straight up 2008. Like
Oh,
that's
man.
when these screenshots were taken, I think. So
You gotta pull it up on the stream, Jason. I want to
Oh,
see too.
yeah, see if I could do that. Now
Oh
you're
my
asking me
God.
to
Yeah, it's gonna take
do
even
stream
it's gonna
things.
take
Come on. You know
longer.
that's not gonna
It's
happen.
gonna take him longer to pull up the pictures on the stream than it did for Ant to find them in his like
It will.
12-year-old hard drive.
You think you're let me try if that's gonna work. It's not gonna work. I had a capture
Oh,
thing for
Oh
it.
goodness.
boy.
Ah,
One thing, do you
putting
do
me
you
on the
use
spot.
OBS or
I use
XSplit or what?
Streamlabs.
Streamlabs OBS. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
There's
OBS. Use OBS.
you should be able to like right click where all of your like sources
Oh,
are
there
and
you go.
just hit like add media or
I got it.
image
I got it.
and
Ah, there it is. I see
yep.
it here.
Yep, he just says sup. You know, that was it. That was the introduction to Noob Show there. He just knock
Yeah.
knock sup.
Knock knock, and you're like, "Hey, sup?" God damn, dude. That's so cool.
Yep. Pivotal moment in my video making career, and I've got screenshot proof of right when it
That's
started.
awesome.
It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. God damn, man. That's the thing is we're always curious as to what he's doing these days. And we actually we reached out to him to see if he'd want to be on the show, and kind of laying low for lack of a better way to put it. I think he
Yeah.
wants to just distance himself from the whole scene, and
Mhm.
he seems like he's doing really well for himself, which is good. So
Yeah, I kept in contact with him throughout the years a little bit, more into the early 2010s, and I know he was doing like film school.
yeah.
He made one attempt to come back, and like I even actually helped coach him a little bit. I mean, he
Oh
knew what he was
wow.
doing. He knew what he was doing with video making. I did nothing in that regard, but he consulted with me a little bit about launching. I think it was RuneScape Gods Exposed episode 11, and I
Mhm.
told him it's
Yeah.
like make that trailer video, get people talking about your return, and then drop it on an
Right.
exact date. Aside from that, I was
Yeah.
just sort of there helping out. Like being
Yeah.
a character on film. I think I was Gunthorian for one of the episodes.
Ooh, that's
And
fun.
I think I was Sarah Doman for one of them. Yeah, he's
Nice.
very methodic and fast
Yeah.
with
He knows what he's
his
doing.
video work. He tells you get
Yeah.
in position, he expects you to do a thing. He doesn't mind reshoots as long as you're not,
Goofing
running
off.
off the rails.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun to
Right.
film with because he was
Right.
very efficient.
He knows
Yeah.
what he's doing,
Yeah.
unlike other video makers
See,
that we won't speak
yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So back to the Machinima contest though, is there what do you remember about like your own video there or anything about that contest?
Um, I remember one thing that's kind of funny. I actually had half of it edited and then I had to move. So I was in the process of moving and I remember editing the rest of it with my desktop set up like next to a coffee table and my monitor sitting on a coffee table while I'm sitting on the couch because I wasn't able to set up properly in a desk yet. There was
Nice.
that. Um, yeah, I just remember with that video, I remember, like, realizing that I enjoyed shorter clip style comedy
Yeah.
because I feel like I was a little bit better with one-liners than I was with, like, more well thought out, like, scripted pieces, and
Yeah.
that video was sort of the manifestation of that, and I actually still do look back on that video, with pride. I'm like, "Man, that was actually probably the most solid RuneScape video I ever made."
Mhm.
So I was very happy with that one. Um yeah, I remember the amount of hype the competition brought, honestly,
Oh
to the
yeah. It
community
was
because I
big, yeah.
remember feeling like RuneScape Machinima. It was funny. There was this weird period with Jagex, and this is so classic Jagex, where in the old days, like 2000s or 2007, they were like removing videos of RuneScape off YouTube. Like you'd get like
Yeah.
straight
They did not
copyright
understand that.
strikes.
Yeah.
And then like
Yep.
they sort of 180'd when Noob Show came on the scene, I think. Well, I say that roughly. Like it might have been a little bit before, bit
Yeah.
after.
Oh,
And then they,
yeah.
they pull out the Machinima competition. I'm like, man, I remember thinking to myself, I don't know if I have that screenshot. I might, but I have a screenshot sitting next to Regicidal where I was like, man, we are in like the peak of RuneScape video making, and I was
Right.
unfortunately like, for the time I was right.
Yeah.
I'm glad that that's no longer the case. I think
Yeah.
RuneScape
It's
video
come back.
making made a very serious comeback in a different way. It's not so much like
Right.
machinimas and
Right.
whatnot anymore, but those have their place. But I'm really glad that commentary style videos of the RuneScape and RuneScape in general has been doing so well. I remember
Yeah. Yeah.
this is actually a slightly good tangent. I might be going a bit too far into the future here, but
Nope.
it's RuneScape related.
No worries.
I remember when I think it was Seto Sorcerer brought to my attention that Jagex had found a backup of old school RuneScape on their servers, and it was like not too long after that the forum discussion kicked off, and then Mark Gerhard like championed it a bit, and I remember feeling positive for that. Actually, with this RuneScape account, it's a little bit weird to verify, but you can. Um, if you go to the high scores table and look up something like rune crafting for me, since I have 0 XP in it, you will find that my level 1 0 XP is right next to the people who have experience, which means I was one of the very first people to ever log into old school
Oh
RuneScape.
wow.
Because that's how you can verify
Wow.
it. Because for people who have matching experience, it sorts your XP total chronologically
Mhm.
based on who got
Uh,
that XP total. So you'll notice that like I'm right next to the people who have like 1 XP because I logged in like that day. I think I was actually number 1 in the world in defense for like
Oh wow.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. A whole 10 minutes
wait,
until
so
somebody
Yeah,
leveled
so
it.
how does that
yeah.
work? Is so new accounts now they start with 1 XP as opposed to 0?
No,
Is
they
that what you
start
mean?
with 0, but what I mean is I was one of the first people to ever log in, which means,
I see.
chronologically, when you sort by people, so,
By
like,
the
if
people
someone
that
yeah.
have, yeah,
So, think about, first place on the high scores table, 200 mil, the first person who got 200 mil is number 1 forever.
they're
So
gonna
the
be,
first
yeah, it
person
goes by that
so
order.
the very, like, last or the very last person or first person who got 0 experience will be the person who shows up it's tough to describe, but I swear to you, you can verify it.
If you
That's how
scroll
old
all the way down to where it's zeros, then you'll see
Yeah, yeah.
and there, but he'll
or
be
if
at
you
the
like
top of the
like
yeah,
zeros.
yeah,
I see.
exactly. I know that was a bit of a tangent, but, yeah, so I old school RuneScape came out, I knew that they were making a solid decision, and then, like, when clients like RuneLite came out with when
Yeah,
resizable became a thing, and then you could resize the UI, I'm like I log into RS3 now, and I'm like, "What is this game?"
exactly. Yeah,
And
Right.
I log into old school RuneScape, and I'm like,
my
"I'm
game,
home.
my game.
I'm
Yeah,
home."
Yeah, yeah.
It feels right. This feels like RuneScape all day. And, in a sense, I'm glad that this game became the popular one. I can say that because, yeah, sure, RS3 has been dying a lot, but at least Jagex is doing all right because they have the successful game.
yeah.
So I'm glad.
Well, we joke that
Yeah.
they keep adding so much new stuff to old school RuneScape that in another 5 years they're gonna roll out with old RuneScape and just go back to the
Yeah, before
2007
all this.
model again. So and they'll have 3
Once
games
Yeah.
they
to keep
definitely
almost working.
ruin this one. Yeah.
Oh my
But they
goodness.
they've been watching their footsteps. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, well, I mean, I think that's the whole point of, the player voting. I mean, we've got one of the poll booths
Right,
behind us. Like, I
right.
think that
Yeah.
was one of the greatest choices. I mean, it does mean that sometimes they fully develop an entire skill they're sure is gonna pass, and then it doesn't. I do think that maybe they should do, like, yearly votes with some of their skills, like, maybe tweak it a bit, get feedback on what people don't like, and see if when people vote on a skill a second time, it, like, has a higher percentage, it's closer
Right.
to that 90 I think 90 it was at 90 or 95% of people have to vote yes on a skill for it
Mhm.
to
Oh
pass.
man,
So something
Yeah.
like that, or some wild percentage like that. But
that's a
I know
lot of
that
work to get shot down there.
sailing and necromancy, I believe, were the 2 that got shot down.
Wow. Well, sailing
Yeah,
was
Yeah.
going to be a
necromancy sounds
skill.
really
I thought
cool.
that was a joke.
What's funny is
Yeah.
like I'm on this podcast at the exact perfect time because I saw who was it that made it? He made like a 2-hour RuneScape like sort of retrospective
Oh,
from 1999.
Runeplex or Moplex.
Yeah,
Mo
Moplox.
maroon
My
blocks.
brain kept saying
Runeplex.
a friend, and I'm like, I know it wasn't a friend, but I knew they had a cool
I know,
name,
I
and it
get
was
them mixed
Moplox.
up too, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I recently caught up on my entire history of RuneScape prior to this podcast. The timing was perfect.
Oh, great. So you can give us a rundown of that movie so we get caught up too.
Uh, oh my god. Well, I mean, it sort of, gets into, just the downfall of actually, I think I skipped EOC to old school RuneScape. I skipped those
Yeah.
years. I didn't even wanna hear about it. I just wanted to hear about the day that old school RuneScape got found.
Well, that like I said, it worked
Yeah,
out for you because that
yeah.
was right around the Machinima contest, and they rolled out the EOC, and then you were like, "Forget it, I'm going to go to
Mhm.
Minecraft." You were like the first big
Yeah.
Minecraft guy. What was that like? Because I remember you were telling me for a while, dude, you need to get over to Minecraft. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I've got a box of Legos. I don't need to do it in video game format. And for years, you were like, no, get over
Ah.
to Minecraft. And
Was I really like that? I was like that.
yeah, but it turns out you made the right
Oh.
decision. What was it? Just you were burned out from RuneScape and decided to get into Minecraft and make videos with it, and you'd already had the experience, or how did that work out for you?
I think it was a combination of a few things. It might have been the burnout from RuneScape. I know that the very first Minecraft video that I ever remember watching was Log.zip's preview of the Nether update. So that would have been Alpha
Oh,
1.2 in
really?
October of
Oh, maybe it
2010.
was Tyler that was telling me. Maybe I'm confusing you and Tyler
Might
because
have
Tyler was doing the same thing to me. He's like, "You need to get over to Minecraft, man." is like where it's at.
Yeah, well, I know that Tyler didn't really take off with Minecraft until many years
Yeah,
later. It was like
recently,
2015, 2016 for him is when he, found his formula and made it work.
yeah.
But as far as Minecraft for me is concerned is, yeah, I don't know if I was burnt out. No, I don't think I was burnt out with RuneScape videos because actually, I'm glad I didn't forget this. I had started a series called RuneScape Undercover where I was really trying to hit that professional note with filming style and more scripted
Mm.
series. I wanted it to feel because I was envious of like RuneScape Gods Exposed. It might have been episode 10 at the time. Cam was doing a
Yeah.
bang up job. And I wanted to get into that. The problem is that my writing is horrible and always has been. I think I've gotten better with it now. I could probably write a better story now. But the problem is when I made the series called RuneScape Undercover, all I was focusing on was camera aesthetic and camera angles and pacing, but I wasn't focusing on the story. So I was not plotting out the story at all. It was horrible. So there was that. What's funny is that Machinima, the actual company Machinima, when they existed, because they don't anymore. Rest in peace.
Yeah, I mean we're totally broken up about that too.
I mean, rest in peace. Yeah,
Rest in pieces.
I've been crying all night.
But I actually, because of my RuneScape content, I got a message in my YouTube inbox when that existed from Machinima saying, "Hey, we like your stuff and wanna bring you under the partnership program and post your videos on Machinima." And it was funny because I got signed with them and I never made another RuneScape video after I got signed with them. I switched to Minecraft and I didn't switch to Minecraft thinking, it's the moneymaker or anything. It was just because people like Scene-Anners who, were Machinima makers. I was familiarizing myself with Machinima makers, and there were Scene-Anners, there was X, David R64YT. Both of those guys were a part of Machinima. And I was getting into Minecraft sort of because of them and also because a friend of mine introduced me to the game. So it's like I was getting bombarded with Minecraft. So I'm like, all right, I'll try it. And I tried it once and I lost, 10 hours in a day, 10 hours the next day, 10 hours the next day. It was the classic story. The thing is, I was playing Minecraft, without in peaceful mode. That's actually why my very first Minecraft map is called AntVenom's Peaceful Map, because it was created more as a creative outlet. And so I just started making videos, and on my original AntVenom channel, if you look up Ant1Venom Minecraft, you'll be able to find it. In my second video ever, I even said, I'm not going to turn this Minecraft thing into a series. I'm not going to turn it into a series. I'm really not. Whoops. One of the most wrong statements I've ever made. And
what changed your mind?
Well, I was just making, Minecraft videos casually because I had things to talk about, like this, a cactus farm, how I made it, my thought process. I was enjoying being creative. And I've always enjoyed breaking games. RuneScape was a little bit tougher of a one to break, but, even when like no clipping glitches would occur, Jagex don't ban me. Any glitch that would come along, nothing that would advance my account. Okay, maybe one. Not a glitch, but I enjoy breaking games. I remember I got 93 to 95 Hunter on a world. So when you log into RuneScape, there's like world5.runescape.com or whatever. And before they implemented a world switcher and you could only access the worlds on the world switcher, I remember going through the entire table of worlds. I went through every world and I'm like, and I noticed which ones were missing, and worlds like 93 and 94 were missing. And I typed in 93 and 94 into the browser.
Oh no.
And they loaded. They loaded.
No way.
And I could log in. They were not accessible through, a publicly accessible world listing. So doing Hunter back then, like all the spots were competitive. And I was just chilling solo in a world. I'm like, they're letting me log in.
Literally,
I can't get banned for this. But I remember I remember when I spoke with people about this, they're like, don't go to Varrock. You might encounter Jmod. So I'm like, I'm just going to chill here in my spot and get two of the toughest levels in Hunter. So the point of that is I enjoy breaking games. And one thing, Notch, the creator of Minecraft, made a post about the world's limits. And I looked into it. I'm like, oh, I want to view them for myself. I made a video about them. And what really solidified the idea in my head that I wanted to make Minecraft videos full time is Notch retweeted that video directly, straight retweet. Wow. And for Notch in 2011 to do that, that is like a godsend to have that happen. The god of video games at the time retweets my video. And actually I had an epiphany, and this was like, looking back, I'm like, this was one of the smartest thoughts I ever had, and I thought to myself, how can I capitalize on this? I'm gonna make a sequel, and then I'm gonna make videos every day.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
there
people
you
are
go.
subscribing to the channel, and I need to capitalize. I need to make sure that people know this is not a one-time thing. So my next 2 videos were sequels, or next video or 2 were sequels. And I then just started making videos about my world and then finding things, and then
Mhm.
custom maps started becoming a thing at that time, like adventure maps and whatnot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And yeah, the rest was kind of history in that regard. I would upload every now and then. I would upload one to the Machinima channel, which would always give me like a boost of 1,000 subscribers, which back then when I had 10,000 total was like, I just suddenly grew 10% bigger on my audience. And that
Yeah.
Like
that
each
happened
day.
even into like the 30, 40, well, not every
Huge.
day, but
It's
every
huge.
time an episode of Hunt for the Golden Apple would go up on Machinima.
Yeah.
Every now and then Machinima would usually post them to their Machinima Realm channel, which was their RPG channel.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But every now and then, randomly, they would post one of them to their main Machinima hub channel, and that always resulted in me getting a couple thousand
Oh,
subscribers. And
wow.
these were like loyal
Wow.
subscribers
Wow.
who enjoyed my content. Like those
Yeah.
are the people.
Yeah.
Like if people say they've been around during the RuneScape days, well, okay, you two have, so you kind of automatically win. You win more than like anyone else does. Like you were not only
Yeah, yeah.
watching, you were not only aware of my content, you were like, what, we were all in each other's inner circles.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
there's
Mhm.
that. But any audience members who were ever like, oh, I've been around since your RuneScape videos, those are the real OGs. Because
Right.
that
Oh,
Right.
was
sure,
sub
sure.
10,000 sub. Yeah, what's funny is I get
Yeah,
that comment
yeah.
a lot. Been
Yeah.
around since the RuneScape days. I'm like, have you really though? I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
if they, the
How do you
thing
how
is,
do
if
you
they,
fact check
Now, how do you
that?
check
well,
that?
if they, if
Name 3 of my
it's a little
videos.
complicated. Well, it's a little complicated. If someone makes a YouTube comment on that and they publicly list who they've been subscribed to, I can actually check that.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
really?
no, I mean,
Oh, okay.
if they
Yeah.
say they've been around that long, it does. The point is like they've been excited about my content since then. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
rock on. They're truly the OGs. I'm happy to have them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's sort of my story and how I got like really started with Minecraft. And before I knew it, January of 2012 rolls, or no, it was January 2013 is when I hit 1 million subs. And then,
Yeah.
another well-known RuneScape creator surpassed me, and he went on to get 10 million plus subs.
Yeah.
But no, I'm still just rocking on,
Yeah.
doing my thing. I mean, I haven't. The thing is, it's like you would have think I would have moved on from Minecraft to general gaming by now, but I'm sort of a
Yeah.
weird gamer in that I like to enjoy one game at a time, 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
And to this day, I still only
Yeah.
play 1 or
Yeah.
2 games sort of at a time. The other one is, what's funny is it's a community made overhaul mod of Tony Hawk's Underground 2 called Tony Hawk Underground Pro. It
Oh,
has the
wow.
levels from
Really?
every single Tony Hawk game,
My
almost.
gosh.
It's
Yeah.
online, souped up for the modern era, custom levels,
Wow.
everything.
Wow.
So like that community is still thriving as well. There's always usually 100 people online playing that game at a time,
Yeah.
and I'm still well in. So that game, I dabble in. Most of the time when I play RuneScape, it's actually mobile because I'm just kind of like
Yeah.
bored
It's just an
in
AFK
bed,
type game where,
Like a
and I'm
thing to
like,
do.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
I could
yeah.
fire make while I'm chilling in bed or alch or whatever.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
but
I
it's
could be
good.
doing this. Yeah.
I'm glad that they offer that. I actually remember when RuneScape, old school RuneScape Mobile came out, and there I saw, like Reddit posts and discussion and whatnot, people saying it's like, I'm a busy adult, but I can do this every now and then. It's like they get
Mhm.
the, their parents or whatever, and they don't have a desktop or whatever. They might have
Right. Right.
there you go, Treasury.
yeah. Well,
Um,
now that all the
yeah.
all the kids that played RuneScape 10 years ago are parents and they have to sit in the room with the baby while they go to sleep, they know that they're going to be on the phone like wanting to play something. So there they go. They just go back to
Mhm.
RuneScape
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Even if like maybe you're not gonna grind level 99 skill on your phone, it's still, you're doing something. And
yeah.
I'm glad they did that, because it was nice to see those comments from people saying it's like I get to pick up my old favorite game in a way that works with their
Mhm.
lifestyle. So,
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's
looking
incredible.
looking back on your entire career, like I have a two-part question. Which video would you say was your biggest? Like the fans like loved and it got the most reception or whatnot, or most notoriety
Mm.
from? And then which one are you most proud of that you feel like this is what I kind of hold up there for my own personal like number one?
Well, we've gotten the number ones out of the way for Runescape, which for me is that AntVenom's Odd Day, the one I made for the Machinima competition. That one I'm most proud of because I feel is the most well balanced
Mhm.
quality wise. I mean, RuneScape Undercover episode 1, I think I had the best cinematics of any RuneScape video I've ever made. But as far as Minecraft is concerned, the one that probably got the most reception, the single biggest, monumental shift in my career was the first survival games.
Oh, right.
So it was right when the first Hunger Games movie was in theaters. Um, the build team and YouTube creator known as Variety created a map called the Survival Games. I don't know if he made it purely so he could make a video about it, but the map was so high quality. And the Machinima people, back when Machinima was good and they actually did things before, they had those 3 years where they were doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but Machinima back then, they were very proactive in doing gaming events, and they decided to do they didn't. Machinima was very well versed from the very beginning on copyright law,
Yeah.
so they held an event. They didn't call it the Hunger Games. They called it, or no,
The Game
no,
of
actually, I think
Hunger.
it was actually, I think it was Variety who called it the Survival Games. My bad. My memory is a little bit weird on that. But so Machinima held an internal Machinima creators survival games event with 12 creators, and I got invited to that because
Nice.
I was just doing custom maps and whatnot, but I was a part of that sort of Machinima brand. I was a top 5 Minecraft Machinima partner creator.
Mhm.
And so I got invited to that, and I was the underdog. People like Syndicate and Captain Sparkles. Uh, you know, um, uh, this one guy. I'm trying to think who else. Sly Fox. A couple of those
Yeah.
guys were the favorites, and I was lesser known because I wasn't really collaborating with many other Machinima creators.
Mhm.
And I wound
Yeah,
up
yeah.
winning that. I wound up winning that event. Quite decisively as well. Like it really wasn't even close with any of my battles, except for Pulsars Jr. He nearly killed me. Um, but yeah, so I won that event, and I knew this was another moment. So I mentioned before how when Notch retweeted my video, this was like a year earlier. I was like, I need to capitalize on this. When I won that survival games, we had an agreed upon embargo. Nobody would publish their footage or talk about it
Oh,
until X
seriously?
day.
Oh, okay.
So I knew people are gonna be after the winner's POV.
Yeah.
So I knew to myself, I'm gonna publish it at noon on this exact day. I knew that I was gonna have a table of contents, everything. It was gonna be perfect. Like, I knew what people were gonna be after.
Yeah.
And, yeah, the video had hundreds of thousands of views in the first day, and I was very proud that that happened, and, that was the most pivotal moment of my career. Then there were Survival Games 2 and 3, which I also won, which got me a reputation for being unstoppable in the early days. Um,
The
that
survival
was
games
before.
guy. You were
Yeah,
the
I mean, now
Katniss of
now
Minecraft Hunger Games.
no, seriously, that was not that was a name, that I got. People did say that, not too often, but people did say that. And then, yeah, I won 2 and 3. This was long before anyone really knew how to PvP in Minecraft. Now
Yeah.
I can't stand a candle to what people are doing these days. No, it's really insane. Don't need to get into it, but the PvP community evolved a lot after that time. As far as the video, probably the videos that took the most amount of work and that I'm most proud of might be a bit of an easy answer, but are my Minecraft animated music videos. So these are
Yeah.
like Pixar level animations, probably Through the Night, which is my most viewed video on the channel. It's got over 40 million views.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I didn't really have to I didn't animate them myself. I paid for the animation, but the song itself is really catchy. I was really proud of the project, and I'm proud of all the music videos that have gone up on the channel. But yeah, so those are the two that I for proudest videos are the survival games, or the most career changing was the survival games,
Mhm.
and the one I'm proudest of is the music videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I remember doing back Kyle, I think you were the one that hosted. We had a RuneScape survival games. And
Oh, yeah.
and
Wow, yeah.
you remember that one,
Both you
Kyle?
guys in that? I honestly I don't
I think I
remember. That
was.
was 10
You
years
were
ago.
hosting it. I don't know if you were in it. I can't remember if you were in it or if you were hosting. I knew it was
Nope,
your
I was
I
just
think I
organization.
was in it.
hosting, yeah.
Okay, and then
I
it
couldn't do PvP for shit.
yeah, and it took forever to get everybody to Like, I'm sure it started like 30
Yeah.
minutes late. I remember I was in Ant's team and everyone's
Mhm.
like, "Oh, it's this Ant's team. We got to go after them first." Because this got Ant on him. He's the Katniss of survival games, so we got to get his team first. And I remember actually, I
Right.
think I did more killing than Ant, or he was.
Did you really?
Yeah, I think I ended up getting 4 kills in that. I have to go back and look at it, but
Yeah, I wanna see the video footage of that. I'm not sure I
It
believe
I'm
that.
wondering if it's a situation of I played the aggressor until my health got low and you cleaned up after me.
it
I'm
could have
wondering
been. Yeah,
I
that might have been it, but but I'm kind of
could
a
could
kill
have been a
snatcher,
strategy.
a PK jumper, but
Oh, hey, doesn't matter as long sure, it says in Minecraft, it says your name, but as long as it's the team kill,
yeah,
hey,
exactly.
I don't mind.
That's
I
right,
do remember I
Jason.
was kind
It's
of
the
like
team's
it
kill,
was a
not your
team kill.
kill.
Yeah, exactly. I do remember my own teammate. We had Smoothscape on our team as well. He's the one that ended up killing me because we were trying to go after Tyler and Sato, and
Oh,
and
goodness.
and I was no good with the bow, so Ant was just using us as pawns. He's like, go rush in there and kill him with your swords, guys. I'll hang back there with my bow. So me and Smooth
I
were
was
there like
Legolas in that game, though.
as me and Smooth were going in there like trying to kill Sato, and Smooth killed me in the fuss trying to get Sato. And so I was dead, and then they ended up finishing off Sato, who was the other guy we had to worry about. But then because of that, Tyler's just hanging back. Log.zip, he was hanging back, like
Yep.
taking no damage, and he ended up killing
Yeah.
Ant because everybody else had killed themselves. So he ended up winning the whole thing. It like took half an hour just to get to that fight, but that was like the whole main brouhaha of everything. But up to that
Wait,
point, I remember getting a bunch of kills.
who wound up winning?
Tyler, Log.zip.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I know back then he was more into the gameplay of Minecraft, so it doesn't surprise me that he was skilled enough to be able to pull
Yeah.
that off.
Well, we were worried about
Yeah,
that team
yeah.
because it was like Seto and Tyler knew what they were doing. I think they had somebody else on their team too. I want to say Gary, but I don't know if that's right. But we were like, oh, that's the other team we have to worry about. Other than that, we got Ant. We're good. We can just hang back,
Yeah.
let him do the work.
Oh my
That's
god.
right.
Oh, goodness.
That was forever ago.
Yeah.
But speaking of it feels like forever ago, and like it's crazy to see that you're still, you're still enjoying and doing Minecraft content after all this time. I mean, it's been well over 10 years now, so I'm curious, like, feel like the game is still is there like still a freshness factor to it? Like what's keeping it interesting for you?
Well, it's funny that you say that because I've been very inconsistent with my upload schedule lately, so it's starting to remind
Mm.
me of the old RuneScape days. The thing that keeps the game fresh for me, though,
Uh-oh.
the thing that keeps the game at least fresh enough for me to make content is I really enjoy well-edited narratives where like your mind sort of
Yeah.
gets slowly blown open by a story that's being told to you. There's a video on my channel that actually this you could chalk up to my proudest current format video is a video titled "I broke Minecraft again." But it's got like these
Yeah.
algo characters, so the text looks all broken and stupid. But if you search up "I broke Minecraft again" at Venom, you would find it. And that video is one of my proudest because the narrative, it's like I set the stage, I'm telling a story about, I don't wanna get too into it, it would take too long, but it's about how the Optifine mod, which is a performance enhancing mod with Minecraft, used to break really aggressively at really
Yeah.
far distances in the old versions, and it was really bizarre to look at, so I made this video narrative where I explained it, I almost made it almost like half like psychological thriller intro, like, the
Oh.
the sort of thing. And then I explain it's like I go from 10,000 blocks to 100,000 to a million, 10 million, a billion, and like sort of work the narrative. And I'm proud of videos like that where you there I don't know how much you two watch YouTube videos, but for those who do, there are some creators where you have to stop everything when that person releases a video and you gotta
Yep.
watch it
Yep.
because you
Yeah.
know it's gonna be special.
Mm.
Summoning Salt is a name that I think of for video game content. You gotta stop what you're doing because he tells narratives unlike any other. And I enjoy making videos in that format where I render the video out and I'm like, wow, people are going to love this.
Mhm.
That those are my favorite that's what keeps it fresh.
Mhm.
As far as the game and updates are concerned, I sort of lost interest in the updates, like, following the updates probably, like, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I I will say, though, like, I'm adult enough to say some people might say, "Oh, I'm not interested in the game. The game's dead." But I'm adult enough to at least say, Yeah, my interest in the updates might be a little bit lower than it used to be, but I know that the game is still popping off really well. They're doing a
Right,
great job with the
right.
updates,
Mhm.
and the game is still definitely super fresh.
Yeah,
So,
it's one of
Yeah,
those deals
yeah.
where the devs have to be like, "All right, do we keep it the same so that the people that have bought this game as it was, like, are happy, or do we wanna keep new people happy?" Because eventually people are gonna get tired of playing the same stuff for 10 years, and other people aren't. So you gotta, like, kind of find a mix and see what works for everybody.
well, they are sort of actually managing that in real time
Mhm.
because there's Minecraft Java Edition, which is the classic version that, has been around since the very beginning. I mean, it's been updated a lot since. With Java Edition, you can play whatever version of it you want, dating all the way back to the very first publicly released versions of the game. So there's that. And then there's Minecraft Bedrock Edition, which is the phone version, the Windows 10 version. So if the main menu just says Minecraft, then and not Java Edition, then it's the main version. So they have that, and
Mhm.
Minecraft Bedrock Edition feels a little different. Some people might argue otherwise, but yeah, Java Edition still feels to me about the same as it always has.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So I'm curious
I
now. I got a question for you. I have this for most of the
sure.
guests, and you've actually been pretty successful. So I'm wondering how you answer this. But if you could go back 12
Sure.
years and talk to yourself 12 years ago, would you give yourself any advice of doing something differently?
As far as video making is concerned, probably not.
That's what I thought
Because
you would say, because it's worked out pretty well for you. I would give myself all kinds of advice because I did pretty much everything wrong. But
Well, that's the thing though. It's like you say that. You see, you can try and go on these tangents all you want, but you say that, but then you have to look at the coin the other way around. What if you actually had gone and done Minecraft content? Would some other element of your life somehow through some weird random means you could not predict have gone so horribly bad in a way you couldn't have predicted where you could have been like, man, if only I could go back in time and tell myself to not make Minecraft
don't make
videos,
Minecraft.
right?
There's bad
So
mistake.
so it really does work both ways, so that's why I try to not to ever dwell on the past or anything like that. Yeah, there are moves where I'm like, maybe something I did wasn't the smartest move,
Mhm.
but I no regrets at all because it's
Yeah.
like it may not be where I am. If I'm regretful of something, then I just need to, change my actions going forward. Um, yeah, exactly. Maybe you would have made Minecraft content, and because of that, you wouldn't be sitting here today at all. Like, I mean, it's a far and away tangent, but you don't know. It's the butterfly effect, right? How
Exactly.
does
Yeah.
one tiny little change completely change your life, um, in ways that you could have never foreseen, and it could very easily be for the worst.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. So
you
you,
know.
you had mentioned you only play about one or two games these days. What are those two games?
So it's right now it's Minecraft and Tony Hawk.
Oh,
I
okay.
dabble. I've actually been dabbling, logging into RuneScape a little bit at a time. Not doing a whole lot. I may get 99 Hunter again because I am crazy. It may be my. I actually it's my highest skill by far. I think I have more. Yeah, I have more combined experience in Hunter than I do in every other skill combined. But it's level 73, so it's like not like I have 200 mil and I'm sitting here at 56 combat. Um, what was the oh goodness, I've just lost the question, wait a minute.
What games are you
Uh,
playing these days?
oh, yeah, so Minecraft, the Tony Hawk. It's funny, I'm actually getting into some old classic games that, like, I should have probably played when I was, like, 12. I'm l for even though I've watched speedruns of it, thankfully, it's not affecting my play experience. I am playing for the very first time Zelda Majora's Mask all the
Oh,
way
wow.
through.
Oh,
Um,
I was
nice.
gonna say
like, I
what
played
Pokemon, or apparently I wasn't too
Well,
far
yeah,
off.
it's up there, yeah. So I had played, like, the first dungeon and a half of Majora's Mask when I was a kid, and actually, I just got past anywhere where I ever got in the past, for the first
That's
time
exciting.
earlier today. Yeah, no, a friend of mine who I've been hanging out with, she's the one who actually got me into it. She's like she wanted me to play
Nice.
Majora's Mask because it's her favorite game, and I
Mhm.
promised her at the beginning of the year that I would, and I told her I'd have it done before the end of 2021, and I'm like, I've gotta get started with it, and I've really been enjoying
Yeah.
it. Now it's like when I'm not working on this deck or not on this podcast or not,
Yeah,
recovering my
yeah.
computer from an absolutely epic catastrophe of not being able to boot up and having to move all my files off.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm playing that, and probably until I
Yeah,
finish it. She
yeah.
wants me to well, I won't get too into it, but within every dungeon, you can collect 15 fairies in order to unlock something else, and her challenge to me is to do every dungeon and collect every fairy in every dungeon. So not quite 100%, but she wants me to do that, so
I'll
Damn,
keep you
Yeah.
busy.
damn,
So
it's gonna.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
you got work to do.
starting to become a gamer again. Starting to become a
That's
gamer
right.
again.
He's gamer.
Yep. So that's been exciting. It's actually been very enjoyable lately. So yeah, those are the games I've been playing. So 3 games right now.
Oh man, look at you. You're
Minecraft, Tony
More than
Hawk,
unfaithful.
usual. Yeah,
and
yeah.
Zelda Majora's Mask.
Yeah. You're not like us where we play like literally a different game every day. I feel so non-committal with everything I play where I'm like, "Oh, I should reinstall this game," and I play it for 2 hours and then I never play it again.
At least you're trying all kinds of things, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's why it's funny when people would people didn't quite understand my mindset, but people would say it's like you should try getting into other games. It's like I don't want to get into other
Yeah.
games because I don't
Yeah,
care about
you don't have to.
I don't care about the
Right.
latest AAA title that came out. I'm not saying that Cyberpunk 2077 is bad, but I haven't even bought it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just not for
sure.
me. Yeah.
It got hyped into oblivion and like it's cool and all, but I'll go back and play Counter-Strike Source
Hey, there we go.
or Global Offensive
Yo.
because I played Counter-Strike. Actually, that was between Tony Hawk and I don't wanna go too far back, but
Oh, go
between
ahead.
Tony Hawk and RuneScape, there was an era where I played Counter-Strike because I played it with
Yeah.
my Tony Hawk buddies, and then I played Line Rider actually.
I got to get you added on Steam after this. We need to play some CS:GO. I'm trying to get into that again. Like you, I used to play like Source like all the time. I was like in a semi-pro
Yeah,
league at one
we've been
point.
talking a lot about
And
CS:GO lately, actually. That's funny you
I
bring that
started,
up.
yeah, we had Stefan on, who's a big RuneScape guy now, and he plays that like competitively. He set up like a RuneScape only league for those guys
Wow,
to
that's
start
awesome,
playing.
actually.
And I started playing Go, and I'm terrible at it. That's not what I used to be. But
Yeah.
I need to get some old school Source guys in there. We can start playing together. I did play. Me and Kyle played the other day, like a week ago.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
killed him 4 times and teabagged him. But
Yeah, it was brutal.
but
I asked you not to talk about that, dude. What the
oh,
fuck?
that's right. I'm sorry. That was in the taboo topics. That's right. But
The taboo topics list. Oh goodness. That's great. The audience may never know what was on that list. It's a long list. There's a lot of burned bridges. No, I'm just kidding. There's really nothing that's taboo for me.
Well,
You know how RuneScape drama is.
yeah. Kyle's got the list. He's the one we have to worry about with the burn bridges and stuff. But he's got a big huge
What?
list.
Yeah.
I
No,
got a big shit list here.
I feel my brain is doing a thing where it's like, do I say what's going on in my head right now? And I'm just gonna not. I'm like, do
Not
I
say
I almost
stuff.
want to. Yeah. Well, now I'm like, I want
Now
to.
we want
that
to
you brought
know.
it up.
Now we're curious. Yeah.
anyways.
So
But yeah, so go ahead, you first.
other than video games, what are you up to these days? Anything like, are you gonna start traveling? You got any future plans here?
Yeah, so I found that I've been getting into stock trading a bit,
Oh,
just trying to see,
Bitcoin type stuff?
Nice.
Dogecoin right now
Dogecoin.
because I believe in well, for those who are watching this into the future, Dogecoin is worth 60 cents right now, I think, or 50, I don't know. It's going up like all up and down like crazy. But I believe in the whole get Dogecoin to $1 thing, so I'm like, I'm just kind of betting on that until that happens. Some stock trading here and there. But also, yeah, I want to get into traveling and more specifically like short distance road tripping.
Oh,
What my goal, so I have a Jeep and I'm gonna be rigging it to be able to have a sleeping platform where I can sleep in the Jeep
ooh,
and actually
nice.
camp out of it for like a week at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
'Cause
Yeah.
I live in Maine, and I actually wanna road trip Maine quite a bit, or at least the New Hampshire, Vermont area.
It's a nice
Basically,
area. Nice
where
area.
if
Yeah.
I have to get
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
home within a day, I can, but I wanna see the area around me that I've not seen, like entire areas. Um, so I'm doing that. I've got construction going on outside. Basically, I had to rebuild the deck out back of my house because uh the homeowners that did it before me laid down non-pressure treated wood, long story short, it rotted in like 5
Oh
years.
no.
Oh
I
no.
I couldn't believe they did it. Yeah, they did it this way. Thankfully, the framing they used pressure treated, so I didn't have to rebuild the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm working with family and friends out there. They don't mind that they don't even really
Yeah.
need me right now. Um, But yeah, so there's that. So I've been enjoying like actually doing things outdoors, trying to be, just trying to improve
Great,
myself,
great. Yeah,
and wanting to get into road tripping. I mean, we don't got to discuss it too hard, but yeah, but 2020 just, concluded 5 months ago, and life's
yeah,
only getting back
yeah.
to normal.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'm vaccinated up. Everyone I know is, so
Awesome.
Ready
there.
to get going again.
So, and the world is like, the country anyways. I know the rest of the world is
Mm.
like, or they're getting there quickly, thankfully.
Yep.
Yeah,
Things
yeah.
are starting to open back up, and it's nice. I do feel for the businesses that didn't survive it, because I was gonna take the friend of mine who I've been hanging out with here. I was gonna take her to a place, an indoor karting place here.
Yeah.
It didn't survive
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah. We
It
got the
just
same
did
thing.
because
I'm
Oh,
sad.
yeah, yeah,
so many fun places like that involve people being together. It's like none of them survived COVID. I hope they come back.
Yeah.
yeah,
That
yeah.
that would be awesome. Also, grats on the hit points level.
Yeah. Thanks. 49. Woo!
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah. So,
I noticed
so
that
we're
on
at the top
stream
of the
real quick.
hour here. I know Kyle, you had to get going here. Did you have any final questions for the podcast portion?
Man, no, not really. This has been a fantastic interview. I don't have any final questions here. I just want to thank Ant for joining us today. It was great to catch up and hear what you've been up to.
Yeah.